Hello everyone, this is Casper from The Boy Diviner, and today I have a new deck to show you guys, the Neon Moon Tarot deck. Hey, time to dive in. This tarot deck, I backed it on Kickstarter a long time ago, not really a long time ago, actually quite a few months ago. And I received it already, and that's pretty impressive. It was on time, basically. It comes with a little booklet printed out, and I really like how this was written. It talks about okay, basically the Neon Moon deck is not, those old school kind of decks. It's about it's very neo-noir. It's very cyberpunk, so I think it's a pretty forward kind of deck. And there are quite a few cards that I feel have that kind of feel. It basically is like post-apocalyptic kind of setting, I feel, and I really like it. A lot of the suit names have changed. So for example, the swords have become arms, like guns. Wands have become wires. Pentacles become Zent, the money and all those kind of RPGs. And cups have become vials. I really like the changes, but then there's the court cards also become a bit more confusing for me. The page have become the apprentice, knight the agent, queen the supervisor, and king the executive. But seriously, what I like about here in the book, although it's really basically just keywords, I really like the quotes that come with it. Yeah, and the box comes really nicely. It's really sturdy. I don't know if you can hear that. And it comes with a little ribbon to make sure it stays closed. And without further ado, it's time for the walkthrough. Alright, I think this is the full card that comes with all the decks. This is another one. I think this one comes only with the Kickstarter supporters, and I'll probably be using this one instead of the other. Alright, the Magician. I like it when cards have quite a limited palette, like the Personal Space Tarot, the one that I also enjoy using. This one is the High Priestess, the Empress. It's very based in RWS, so I really like this because it's so easy to read. The Emperor, with the rams on the screens around him. Hierophant. This is probably my favorite card in the deck. I like how she seems crazy, like, oh, the world is ending. She looks a bit like Torgy Thor, if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race. The Lovers, with their gender quite ambiguous. The Chariot. This is the only card that I don't know if it really works for me. I mean, there's the Sphinx here, but I feel like the Chariot is about control and taking control. This card, it feels like she or he is just sitting along for the ride, which is not really what I see when I hear about the Chariot card. Strength. I like this one. I like how the lion is actually just part of the screen. At the same time, it still reminds me what strength is. Really like that interpretation. The Hermit, with the guiding light on his head. The Wheel of Fortune, simply named Fortune here. You see, I like the new interpretations. It's really following the RWS imagery, but how they interpret it is very different. Justice. Again, the scales in the screens. The Hanged Men, now just called Hag. Death. Temperance. I like this one. So even in this neo-noir cyberpunk world, there's the angels. The Devil. This probably is my second favorite in the deck. You can see the people bound. Tower. Some kind of warfare. The Star. The Moon. See, this is definitely just RWS here. Alright, very nice. Very easy to read. The Sun. This one is a bit more sinister than what the Sun really is. Depicts, you know, people being blinded by their surroundings. They just concentrate on the screen and feel like fulfillment there. But I think how we should read it is still the same, or maybe not. It really depends on your reading style. Judgment, another angel, but this time the wings are a bit made of wires or something. The World, I like this one. Alright, and then now we go to the Suit of Arms, which is some swords, right? Let me get a sip of my coffee. The Ace of Arms. The Two of Arms. Using her psychic powers to levitate those swords. The Three of Arms. I like this imagery. It's like a legit person being hurt. The Four of Arms. Rest even in a world full of strife. Five of Arms. Doesn't depict him picking them up, but I like this imagery, you know, of the two people behind. Six of Arms. Instead of seeing them from the back, they're actually coming towards us. I don't know if that makes the interpretation a little different, but I really like this card. Seven of Arms. Eight of Arms. This one also is a bit of a different kind of vibe that I get when I look at the Eight of Swords. I mean, in the Eight of Swords, she can leave. She is able to leave her constraints if she just stays careful. This one has clear people, you know, fighting against her. At the same time, she has that mode of escape, I guess, with the sword. But it seems like she might be hurting herself. I don't know. The Nine of Arms. Nightmares. Who hasn't had that kind of nightmare, you know, when you're operating table? Ten of Arms. Quite a standard imagery, this one. Alright, the Apprentice of Arms. To be honest, I like the court cards, even though they're a bit inaccessible here compared to other decks like the Sasurabito. The Agent of Arms. The Supervisor of Arms. Stern Lady. And then the Executive of Arms, you know, removed from the world. He's just ruling based on his mind. Maybe a bit of a tyrant, it seems. Alright, now we go to the Vials, which is the Suit of Cups. Okay, the Ace of Cups. Ace of Vials. The Two of Vials, very sweet. I love how all the characters seem so ambiguous in their sexuality. I guess this is how the world is. The Three of Vials. A party. The Four of Vials. Wearing a mask so she can't really partake in what is being offered to her. The Five of Vials. If you can see that, it's like a video game. You lose 3 lives, you still have 2. The Six of Vials. The Seven of Vials. I love this imagery. I feel like this is a bit like Chinese inspired, basically because I like the dragon over there. The Eight of Vials. Leaving what you have behind. The Nine of Vials. I like how she looks here, really. I like that the vials have become like a halo behind her. But again, it's a screen. The Ten of Vials. Whatever happens, you can reap from such a world. Alright. Here we go. The Apprentice of Vials. Again, not accessible, but you know, I don't know how this I guess the vials do look like roses here, so it's some sort of like emotions. But I feel like the Apprentice of Vials, which is the Page of Cups, should be more accessible than this. You know, they're romantic, they're looking for more. This one just seems a bit removed. The Agent of Vials. The Supervisor of Vials. This one I can get with. The Executive of Vials. I like this. I like the executives, to be honest, in the deck. You know, all these are people who are pretty far removed from the lower class or the middle class people in this world. And sometimes I feel like the kings being in a position of authority should have that kind of feeling. They shouldn't be too accessible to us. Okay, now we move on to the wires, which is the Wands, the Ace of Wires. The Two of Wires. I like this imagery where you know, the phone is like your gateway to the rest of the world, which is pretty much the case right now. We don't have to go to such a world for that. Three of Wires. Looking out to the physical realm now, the physical world. The Four of Wires. Celebration. The Five of Wires. Fighting. The Six of Wires. Victory. Although in the RWS I really appreciate how the Six of Wands looks a bit like death. The Seven of Wires. I really like how the deck has, you know, like techno magic. I don't know. The Eight of Wires. A lot of kinetic energy. More techno magic. Nine of Wires. Defense. The Ten of Wires. A burden. But this guy seems to be doing pretty well. Like he wants the burden, right? He needs to carry it with him. Again, the pages of the apprentices here always give me this sort of some sort of removed nature to them. The most accessible ones are the queens, and I do like the fact that that the executives are a bit removed. But for the pages, I feel like it shouldn't. I guess that's the only quibble I have with the deck, right? The Agent of Wires. The Supervisor of Wires. This is usually my favorite card of each deck, the Queen of Wands, but I like her. I do like her. She still has that black cat. She's still a cat lady. The Executive of Wires. You know? They're all in their own rooms or in high stories. Alright, next. The last one is the Suit of Pentacles. The Suit of Zent. Ace of Zent. Two of Zent. You see the infinity sign, you still see the two in his eyes. He's too focused on that. The Three of Zent, building something. Again, it's still the part of the windows. This is the Four of Zent. The Five of Zent. Not too sure how this means salvation. I usually feel like you know, they are more desperate than this. The Six of Zent. I like this one because it's not merely a flower, it's like supplies. You know? Seven of Zent. Still processing. Yeah, and this is about like cryptocurrency mining. Eight of Zent. Hard at work. The Nine of Zent. This reminds me of the World card, which is a good thing, I think. The Ten of Zent. This is quite a sad depiction of what the Ten of Zent is. So I'm not too sure what to make of it. I haven't really looked at the guidebook on all these cards I'm not too sure about. Let's take a look at the 10 of Zent. Yeah, it's still pretty much the same as the normal RWS. No family, things like that. Apprentice of Zent. This is probably the most accessible apprentice. Agent of Zent. This makes me think more about the executive, like the King of Pentacles. The rest of the agents, I think they were all on motorbikes. This one, he's an office worker. Interesting. The Supervisor of Zent. Yeah, I'm not too sure again. Not too sure if this luxury or, you know, resources. And then the Executive of Zent, again, removed. And I really like this this depiction of all the kings. Alright, so there you have it, the Neon Moon deck, tarot deck, with a lovely reversible backing. I like most of the cards here. I love the world that he has created. Pixel Occult, I think that's his moniker online. He has created another deck, I think it's called the Sinking Wasteland tarot deck. But yeah, I really like this deck and I hope to work with it. I probably am gonna also etch the deck in black. Yeah, this is the first time I really had a deck which is more not fantasy but more like cyberpunk and futuristic. So I'm really curious to see how it works out. Alright, that's about it. Bye guys.